Hello and welcome to Business 24 on NTA News 24. We're coming to you from the Central Business District of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. I'm Chimobi Walter Nnaji, and this is your magazine program that enlightens for all the right profit reasons. I shall take you through this edition, which promises to be exciting. Now, in the course of the program, you shall have a peep into the federal government's effort at diversifying the economy, with particular emphasis on agriculture. And if you are an investor, stay tuned and you'll see for yourself what opportunities exist for your profiting. Also get ready to be filled in on the strides made with the economic growth and recovery plan, as well as the ease of doing business. We also have our regulars, Moving Nigeria Beyond Oil, where you will get to see another young Nigerian doing amazing things. There is also the review of the capital market, export tips from our in-house experts, and this week you'll meet our CEO of the week. All this after this timeout. Welcome back. You see, a nation is only as buoyant and as fortified as the strength of its economy. Nigeria is described as an investor's delight, and this is no frivolous claim. It is a statement of fact. With the abundant natural resources and vibrant population, no investor would like to miss doing business in Nigeria. And that is why the present administration under President Muhammadu Buhari took deliberate steps to make Nigeria business environment more attractive. Take a look at this report. The Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP, is an initiative of the federal government which builds on the 2016 Strategic Implementation Plan. It is aimed at tackling corruption, improving security, and rebuilding the Nigerian economy. How has the ERGP fared in the past 1 year in improving the nation's economy? What is the performance of the ERGP despite the World Bank projection of Nigeria's economic outlook? Professor Daman Nazifi, an economic expert, believes that the ERGP seeks to build on the social investment program by restoring growth, investing in people, and building a globally competitive economy. The plan, he says, tends to focus on macroeconomic stability and economic diversification.
You know, generally economies all over the world, not only in Nigeria, work on the basis of positive expectation and direction of government policy and pronouncement. And so whenever governmental policy pronouncements are positively expecting in the future, the anticipation of economic actors is that things will likely be better, and therefore that gives them confidence to invest more in the economy, and that is why we are likely to see positive expectations.
According to the ERGP, Nigerian economic growth is projected at about 3.5%, but Nigeria jumped about 24 places in the Ease of Doing Business ranking of 2017, which puts the country in the world radar of investment destinations. Some other experts believe that there is need for increased public and private investment in the country so as to boost the country's growth prospect.
Then you move over to other sector. Oil has marching orders. They have to work to reduce the import of fuel to by 60%. And they are doing that. But at the same time, they have to reformulate the equity positions of Nigerian government in the onshore. And they're doing that to free them so that they can access funds. And they're producing a savings of 7.
There is need for increased public and private investments. In other words, oil itself, oil production is the major driver of growth in the economy as of today. Even though the contribution of oil to the gross domestic product is now low, about 10%.
A global competitive economy, according to the experts, would be built by investing in infrastructure, improving the business environment, and promoting a digital-led growth. In Abuja, Chimobi Walter Nnaji for Business 24. I tell you, the Nigerian business environment is being transformed by the day. One other visible area that benefited from this positive change is the agricultural sector, and this is more so as it has continued to be the largest employer of labor. And that is understandable, because without sufficient food to feed its citizens and generate revenue through the value chain, no nation can truly be sovereign. Our next report from Kunle Adeya tells us what the agricultural landscape has become in Nigeria.
With a depleted foreign reserve occasioned by dwindling oil price and assumption of duty in 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari decided to take the bull by the horns in an attempt to diversify the economy. Agriculture became one of the options to return the country to its economic mainstay. The decision, government says, will effectively address the challenges of unemployment and a recessed economy the country was facing at that time. This birthed the 5 agriculture initiatives of the Buhari administration. One is the federal government's anchor borrower scheme, through which the Central Bank of Nigeria disbursed 55.526 billion naira to over 250,000 farmers across the country. With over 300,000 hectares of farmland of rice, wheat, maize and cassava cultivated, the program created 890,000 direct jobs and 2.6 million indirect jobs. The initiative continues to receive an applause, and other programs like Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, Youth Farm Lab, Presidential Economic Diversification Initiative and the Food Security Council consolidated it. After 3 years in the saddle, these intervention programs have received accolades for its successes. Salim Sali is the national president of Wheat Producers Association of Nigeria. He noted that the rebirth in the agricultural sector has increased local production of rice and wheat, and the farmers better informed.
Essentially speaking, agriculture has started showing a significant impact in driving the economy outside towards the recession period. So if the farmers can have access to all these mechanization tools, I assure you Nigeria can start even thinking of forgetting about oil money. Why I'm saying this is because we have the vast land area, the farmers are willing to cultivate, the funds are available to the farmers, our farmers will readily cultivate and pay back the loans at the right time.
A professor of plant breeding, Lawali Abubakar, agrees the government is on the right track and says when the president eventually assents the budget, the sector will be on the upward trend.
By the time you zero down on the agricultural sector, you will have to understand that the government have actually achieved very significant milestones in improving the agricultural sector in the country. The other issue where the government succeeded is actually in encouraging people, rekindling people's hope in agriculture. Wherever you go now, the number of people participating in agriculture have actually increased.
He, however, implored government to improve on research works in the sector. If these feats have been achieved in 3 years, then agriculture should not be handled with lethargy, as countries like Holland, Brazil and the United States of America have done trailing with robust economies. Kunle Adeya for Business24.
Moving on now, we bring you the amazing works of a young entrepreneur whose dreams is to one day be an acclaimed baker.
Our entrepreneur for the week, Oluwakemi Abi, has no doubt carved a niche for herself in the baking world. As a caterer who has explored this line of business in the last 12 years, she has mastered the art through consistency, training, hard work and determination.
I read civil engineering, but I just have passion for cooking and baking. So after my youth corps service, I worked for virtually 2 years with a construction firm. Then after which I decided to settle down with my passion and what I really have flair for doing. I love creativity generally. I took up this business professionally 12 years ago. I am into baking different types of cakes for wedding, cakes for different occasions, birthday, anniversary, training. I train a lot of youth around me. Here's more or less a training center. People do come in here to learn and to upgrade as well. Then another thing I do is that I'm into the sales of all cake accessories.
Our work and staff strength is a testimony of our expertise to the outside world. With passion as a driving force, the lucrative nature of the business has further boosted our morale.
Catering or baking generally is a lucrative business depending on you. If you are diligent, if you are committed to it, you won't have cause to regret. It's a good business. I've never regretted not practicing my civil engineering to baking. I enjoyed baking, I enjoy teaching, I enjoy bringing up upcoming bakers. I love what I'm doing. I love creativity.
Creativity can't be overemphasized in baking and decoration. And as a graduate of civil engineering, our basic knowledge from this course resonates in our creativity.
When I was on campus those days, we do a lot of structure. I read civil engineering structural options for that matter, even to PGD level. You understand? I construct, on paper or physically. No, when I want to design my cake, I still go into my sketches. I do some cakes. My cakes are more of structures at times.
Grappling with power and access to finance can be a challenge for many entrepreneurs. However, Mrs. Abe says this has not deterred her.
I could remember vividly when I started, there was no capital for a mixer like this, We're using hand to mix in the bowl. Even when we have wedding cake, myself and my committed staff will sit together and cream. You can imagine what it takes to cream a 2, 3-tier, 4-tier wedding cake in a bowl manually. And we were doing it diligently and no customer had cause to ever complain. We put in our best. But to the glory of God, that era is gone. We have mixer now.
Like every business, going beyond the mundane is her focus, even as she tells upcoming entrepreneurs in this line of business to stay focused and determined. While chatting with Business24, our entrepreneur of the week took us through the rudiments of making a sponge cake with butter icing, and the outcome was amazing. For Business24, I am Joy Uzo.
Young Nigerians doing amazing things with their hands. Well, let's hear from Femi Boyede, our in-house export expert, for those tips that would help you build your export business.
Today, I want to talk about the European Union, which has historically been the biggest market for Nigeria's non-oil export products. Now, how do I export my food to the European Union, which is, like I said, the biggest market for Nigeria's non-oil export products? First, the European Union is a market, and therefore you need to conduct market research. Market research, as a component of the export value chain, actually examines the demography. What is the total population that I want to sell to? In this population, ages 1 to 10, what do they buy? What do they consume? Ages 65 and above, what do they consume? Which of these do I want to go into? Do I want to go into food, or do I want to go into exotics? Is it entertaining them I want to do, in which case you will not know whether it is food or whether it is film or whether it is music. What percentage of this population will get attracted by, for example, my African wares and design? In the European Union population, which is a ready market for me, we have a whole gamut. It cuts across. We have Senegalese, we have Jamaicans, we have Caribbeans, we also have Nigerians. Do I want to target the Nigerian market? All of this, I just use that as an illustration of what the market research is all about. So if you have conducted a market research, the next thing that you need to do as a potential exporter is to profile your target markets. The kinds of people I've talked about in the population segment, you need to profile them. You need to know that, okay, if I decided today, recently I got an order to bring woven caps. These ones you call Kano, Maduguri, and all of those things that you buy, you can get to buy at the Central Mosque, to bring about 200 to one of the countries abroad. And then, of course, that gave me an idea that a certain segment of this market is actually interested in this kind of fashion. That's what I mean by profiling. So you know the segment of the population that is interested. Now that you have it, what is your own unique selling proposition? You need to understand what I stand, or if you don't have one yet, what can I do to distinguish myself from other marketers of this particular product? Take charcoal, for example. People are packing charcoal in Ghana, must go, well, Ashaka bags, what have you. Can I differentiate myself? Can I actually use a carton, design a very colorfully, beautifully designed carton that makes anybody who looks at this to actually wonder, is it charcoal that this man is selling that he has packaged so beautifully? Get a unique selling point. What is your own? Identify it. Then you need to develop your business brand. For you to distinguish yourself in this business that you have gone into, I must be able to probably have a catchy phrase, a catchy name that every time I hear it, my mind comes straight to you. So you need to develop a brand. You need to develop your own brand.
Let's take the capital market review at this time.
There's a popular saying that anything that goes up will come down at some point in time. So the equity markets also usually fluctuate. When they do very well, people who have bought when the prices were a bit lower take profit sometime. And that's what's happening. So there's some profit taking, but it gets to a point again where the profit taking becomes too much and stocks are oversold, and you see people coming in again for bargain hunting, and they now pick up the cheap stocks.
Our segment, The CEO of the Week, is back and better. Joy Uzo brings us into the world of the vibrant Chief Executive Officer of a Sonic Solar Inverter System.
Building a successful business is a journey that requires taking the right step at the right time. Jeremiah Nwazota is not ignorant of this business tip. Nwazota found out that the biggest advantage of renewable energy is that it is renewable. which translates to sustainability, meaning it will never run out. Determined to succeed, he began the sale and installation of solar energy appliances, security gadgets and other electricals.
We started this business all the way from Kano. We started there when I'm still in the University of Kano, Cairo University, Kano. I started as, right from time I have that belief that to do business must have to be with a group of people. So when I'm in university, I started this business by employing people. Then what we are doing then in Kano, then we are into repairs of radio, televisions, installation of satellite, all those local antenna. So from there, when after my school, we graduated from Star Repair, maybe have another shop where we sell Belgium, second-hand all those television, radio. We bought them from Lagos and repair. So from there, we graduated from selling new satellite. We have another office. That's been then we have throughout we're in Kano, we have where we repair, where we sell Belgium, and where we are selling new one. So, but one day, what bring me to Abuja? One day we sold a satellite dish, with a jack. So, which the man later come back to Abuja and Kano and told me that nobody can be able to fix it. So you have to invite me to come and install it by myself. I think precisely at Zone 6, Snock Hotel at Zone 6. So after installing it, I love Abuja. And we decided to come and open a branch in Abuja. So from there, we started working on the type of work I'm doing then, both electrical and installation of satellites. So we started doing it, and God helping us, one day God sent an angel that come and market this solar inverter, for us. So he marketed it, and it's from an Indian company. So we became the first, people that install their products, the first people that repair their products. So from then, we started selling it also. And I remember those days, we write just in paper, photocopy many of them, go to offices, and start to tell people that we can give them light, 24 hours light. So people, when they bring money, we send money to Lagos to buy our batteries, then buy the inverter from the Indian company. But I remember one day when we got a work from NIPP, so I have to travel to Lagos by my own self. So luckily for me, I met the person that used to send goods to me. He was out to ask me, why are you not sending enough money? Why every day you send small money? I told him, well, that is money, that is how much we have. He gave me the first credit of 4 million, second time credit of 7 million. So from them, I start to see Indian people, they start to come to office. They are looking for, they hear that if we sell their product, it will enter market.
CEO Jeremiah Nwazota says capacity building is necessary since meeting its customers' demand requires expertise in the field.
Over the years, just like I have a lot of, we have all those Indian suppliers, which whenever we started being a partner with them, they take us for training. I have an opportunity that I travel to New Delhi, India, to have a lot of experience about our solar inverter. Most of the time they come to Nigeria here and they train us and also give us certificates.
In spite of the risks and challenges associated with the business, its lucrative nature is a strong motivation for Nwazota.
The solar inverter business is a moving business here especially here in Abuja. It's a moving business, only that it requires attention.
With a huge volume of Nigerians who are seeking alternative energy sources to improve electricity generation in their homes and businesses, Jeremiah Nwazota says he looks forward to when most of the products they use will be sourced locally as against the current reality.
Of the product that we are selling here in our Sonic is made in India. They are Indian products, like all our battery, our inverters, most of them that are very durable are Indian products. Most of the things that we by ourselves now we're importing for now is the accessories we do import from China, which I'm advising many Nigeria that maybe have the money, if we can also start to produce our own, it will make solar inverter to be more cheap.
On his plans for the future, Jeremiah Mwazuta says aside expanding his business to meet the growing need of Nigerians, he hopes to own a factory where they can produce the components locally.
Because in Nigeria we have enough sun. We can generate any energy here with the solar panels.
Currently, the business has over 5 outlets in Abuja metropolis, with branches spread across some states of the Federation. For Business24, I am Joy Uzo.
Nigerians never lag behind, I tell you. If you would like to participate on the segment CEO of the Week, do call the numbers on your screen for details. And on that note, we draw the curtains on today's episode. Keep a date with us, same time, same station, next week. I'm Chimobi Walter Naji. Thanks for being there.